Hey everybody, Sean here, and I hope you're doing well. Recently, I was asked why Beth Moore should be avoided. To start, she's usurping authority over men, which is forbidden in 1 Timothy 2:12. Not to mention, she won't call same-sex relationships sinful, and actually teams up with them and calls them brothers. And you can go online and see lots of videos exposing unbiblical things on her. And just days ago, she had a Muslim Imam preach from the Quran in her church. We'll look at that clip in a moment, but apparently the passage he reads from means, "Say, O my servants who have transgressed against themselves by sinning, do not despair of the mercy of Allah. Indeed, Allah forgives all sins. Indeed, it is He who is the forgiving, the merciful." Beth Moore is another cog in the wheel of the Pope's ecumenical movement in uniting all religions.
This whole idea about the interfaith dialogue is the idea that we need to come together and understand one another and where we're coming from. You know, America anyway does not resemble today what it used to be 50 or 100 years ago. We have a lot of people here who may not necessarily be like me, you know, growing up here in Texas over the last 60 years. It's encouraging to be able to get to know people from other places and other cultures and other faiths. And this period of time that Nazir and I have been working together has been just a delight and a pleasure for me as I'm able to go to mosques and various other places of worship and see and meet other people. So
every single moment that we spend on earth is filled with such incapacity and inability. So the Quran, one of the key themes that we find across the Quran is forgiveness. So I wanted to start tonight's discussion with a verse from the Holy Quran, and I wanted to recite it before each and every one of you today so that I could translate it and try to go through what it is that the Muslims find within God's capacity to forgive. God Almighty says in the Quran, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم قل يا عبادي الذين أسرفوا على أنفسهم لا تقنطوا من رحمة الله إن الله يغفر الذنوب جميعا إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. The verse that I've just recited before you is one of the chapters in the Quran that primarily talks about humankind on the Day of Judgment. And the Day of Judgment as a theme is number one, we all affirm it to be a definitive reality. But to be able to be a person who stands before God, being taken to judgment, is a scary reality. For one who begins to try to compare and contrast their own self versus God, will realize that God in His ultimate power and God in His ultimate wisdom and God with His ultimate oversight of humankind, had He taken us to account for whatever and everything that we did, our fate would not be well.
Anyone allowing a leader of a false religion to preach in their church is quite obviously deceived. So this is just one more reason Beth Moore must be avoided. We're going to leave it here for today, but leave your comments below, and until next time, take care and God bless.